right, everybody. I wanted to make a kind of a short video to talk about something very specific right now with Black Desert Online. So we're going to get serious for a second. And we're going to discuss basically the progression path of the game right now and how it's kind of killing the game. Now, I know a lot of people have touched on this, like kind of briefly, and I wanted to really kind of take a moment and specify what our problems are and a potential fix. Obviously, right now, everything is going towards the direction of sovereign, weapons, and Deberekas, which is fine. You know, that's the direction of the game. We've already kind of let the dogs loose, so there's no walking this one back. But the problem right now, and I think a lot of people are in the same boat, is that there is only one way to progress this stuff, and it's through Cron stones. It's through Cron stones and Jay's hammers, right? But Jay's hammers are going away. So what does that leave us with? Cron stones, which is fine. I understand that you can use silver to buy Cron stones. I got that. You can buy them right off the vendor. You can get costumes if you're lucky off the marketplace. Got it. But my issue with the way the game is progressing, and I think a lot of us are in the same boat, is if you consider how progression works in this game, that be it that it needs Cron stones to achieve pinnacle gear, then when you do pinnacle content, you should be getting something that is helping you progress that pinnacle gear. In this case, if Cron stones are what you need to progress, or when you do pinnacle content like boss rushes or the guild boss rushes that just came out, or even Olin's, there should be dailies that are rewarding you with Cron stones. There should be Cron stone bundles that you're being rewarded out of those boxes. You should be getting Cron stones in larger quantities from bosses. It shouldn't just be Kaffir stones anymore, because when Kaffir was pinnacle content, we were having things that rewarded us with Kaffir. Right now, there's only one way to get Cron stones from the game for free that isn't like I'm going to grind in circles, and that is doing Pit of the Undying. And I think this is a big part of the problem with BDO in general, is that pinnacle content doesn't give us means to progress our pinnacle gear. Yes, we do have the ability to, use our like, what are those? The new stones that you get for a sovereign gear, that comes from pinnacle content. That makes sense, right? Pinnacle content gets you pinnacle gear. But we need to have a way to introduce more Cron stones into the game that isn't just either grinding in circles or buying them off the market, buying them off a vendor. It shouldn't be the only way. I think if there was Cron stones being rewarded from our PvP content, even if you're just doing AOS and you're getting like decent Cron stones per hour, you can buy a Cron bundle, that'd be great. There'd be a way outside of spending real dollars to kind of get ahead. I'm fine with them having their Pearl shop being monetized the way it is, but I'm not fine with Cron stones being the only form of progression and then us not having a meaningful way to attain Cron stones other than a raw silver purchase. There's also the other point that buying Cron stones off the vendor doesn't feel rewarding. It doesn't feel good for the content that you're doing to be rewarded by just buy them off of the vendor. It doesn't feel good to just buy them off the marketplace in a costume and then melt that costume down. It diminishes the value of that activity. It makes it feel less rewarding. There's not as much of a dopamine hit. If you got a bundle out of doing a boss and then you open that bundle, you get a ton of Cron stones and it helps you with your progression, that feels good. So, food for thought. I feel like this might be a good way for us to kind of get PA's attention on how to help progress our game and not just make it like, the game is awful and everything's bad. It's fine to have problems, right? We need to identify problems as a community. But what's better than identifying the problems is bringing a solution to the table. So that is one solution option, and I'd like to hear if you guys have more. So if you have more, please put them in the comments. I plan to send this video to Prolibus to see what they have to say about the subject matter and see if maybe we can get some new content added to the game that will help us progress pinnacle content. Thank you guys as always for being here and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, I'm like kind of like a newer creator on the YouTube sphere. Do me a huge favor and just like and follow or subscribe, whatever you want to call it, this video. I appreciate you guys, and
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't